see what I'm working on. What am I working on? Okay, I'll show you it. Working on a new bathroom renovation. Bathroom renovation at our place, really. Essentially, we've got just one main bathroom over here, as you can see over there. And then we've got a separate toilet over there. Space is limited. We need an extra toilet. We've only got that one toilet on the side. So basically looking to transform this whole space here. Also, yeah, as you can see, very small shower. So remove this wall, and then we're also going to remove the bath, basically make the shower bigger, much larger, and decrease the size of the bath because people don't really use the bath as much. Also, replace these windows. You got crazy kids thinking this is a ladder. It's not a ladder, it's a towel rail. So basically I'm going to take all the linings off, all the tiles, all the jib, and remove that. Ceiling as well. Nice timber flooring. It's good condition, but we will tile the floor, the walls. Obviously adding large amount of mirror in here, just make the room feel a little bit larger. So obviously gives the small room, a little bit more depth. And then in terms of the exterior, we'll just replace this wall with a sliding wall, so we've got a little bit more space within this small bathroom footprint. In future, actually going to have that slider, we'll do some panels over the top of the slider, so it really just looks like the slider is integrated into the whole wall. Well, we'll just obviously increase the size of this room, just make it feel a bit larger. I mean, it's very small, as you can see already. You can see not much room, but increase the size, make it feel longer, but then also just add a basin over here. That's something that's really needed. Now let's have a look at the design. We'll jump in here. Essentially, here we are. This is the main bathroom and separate WC next to it. So essentially just going to take out everything, basically demolishing everything inside the existing bathroom and separate toilet as well, and basically just going to reline and new fittings and fixtures to the entire room. The proposed plan for the main bathroom. So we've got a shower in this portion here, the bath here, then a separate toilet there, heated towel rails, basin, and then sliding door. So obviously just trying to maximise the small space. And here we have the separate toilet, so it's essentially just going to have increased the space, made the space bigger. Built an in-wall cistern for this toilet here, so obviously you don't see the cistern, it's all hidden within a plinth. It's got a separate basin there, so very, very small, very minimal, basic elevations for the main bathroom. For toilet, so this is what we're talking about. Small bathroom, but fitting in a bath, wall-mounted spoutings, a niche in the corner there for the shower, and then just a simple glass screen to screen off. So very minimal, not trying to have too many sort of cluttered fittings and fixtures around, and then large tiles to make the space feel larger as well, and also eliminate all of those grout lines. And this is the other elevation, so we've got sliding door here, WC, wall mounted vertical towel rails, stand and shower, and then these cabinets here is actually we are working on actually recessing those in, so really pushing that even further into the wall, into the space, really just trying to maximize the small space. And this is the frontal elevation that we'll see, is just large mirror cabinet, really just extending that through on a dark featured wall. So obviously these tiles on this wall will be featured tiles, concrete basin, wall mounted fittings and fixtures, vertical towel rails, then push plates that trying to match the colour of the tile, and then yeah, as you can see, large 1.2 metre tiles, just really trying to minimise the amount of grout lines. We've received the scope of works for the project from the builder, so we're just going to go through and look at all the items listed in the scope of works, really just see whether everything is covered, and that the renovation is going to be in accordance to what our expectations are. So it's always good to just double check that, because there'll be a couple of things that might be allowed for in the project or might not have been allowed for. So, which later on in the project results in variation to the, or additional cost to the project. And then, we're going to go through the contract and then just mark it up, send up any changes through, and agree on the scope of works. And then once that's done, we'll just get the builder to send through the contract for the entire project. So that should be exciting. A couple of items I'm just going to mark up. So obviously my current insurance is actually going to be covered by the house insurance. Actually, in this case, the contract work insurance is not going to be an issue. We're not making any structural changes, so that should be okay from this point of view. So we're just looking at all the finer items, and then I'll just mark up a couple of things here. Obviously, there's a couple of things, additional insurances that we need to, okay. In this case, we're not going to go for a guarantee, but obviously, maybe, insurances are the major items you want to double check. So that's all. It's all there. Oh my goodness! Ooh, there we go. Demolition, Debbie. Ooh, look at that. Yep, so you can see the frame lining's taken off. Most of the main bathroom, and then also the separate toilet. So it's looking quite spacious at the moment. Can come in from here or there. But they have discovered some rotten timber boards. There's definitely rotten, so that needs replacing. Alright, a few switches hanging off. We're standing inside the demolition area. There's a ceiling hatch up here. Up here. There we go. And we're going to replace that obviously with some new potter system. At the waste. It's only a small room, but you can see here it's produced quite a lot of waste. Look at some progress. So we've got our framing, which is all. We had to allow for new framing to this wall here because, as we know that the existing framing was only 70mm, so this needs to be at least 90mm for the in-wall cisterns. These two openings here for the mirror cabinet, and then obviously the in-wall cistern is going to be over here. And the wall that was originally over here has also been shifted across, so it's going to be in this portion here. As you can see, this wall has been shifted all the way back here, so we're in line with this whole wall here. What we can see from here now is that we've actually installed the mirror cabinets, so they can be side by side, and basically it's going to be a continuous glass front. Obviously got 6 doors, and we had to go with something that's a little bit more cost effective instead of the full height cabinet, but that is what it is. And windows supposed to come on Monday, so that'd be good, so we can close off the interior and start having insulation, putting the ceiling battens in. Mirror cabinets, so they're going to be side by side. You won't actually see it once the doors are closed. The mirrors will just be full length. First Fix plumbing. So this is the basin mixer, spout, and we've also got the other shower and the rain head. And then all this is obviously good. This is all going to line up with the door opening. This bottom line here is going to line up with the new window trim, and then also the tile grout line. So it's all about achieving that datum across the entire room. So you can see also the floor. They have installed a slate underlay, so the tile underlay framed for the bath. So that's going to be good. Spouting it's been installed as well. So yeah, it's starting to take some shape, which is nice to see. And we'll just check on progress. So we've got windows installed, insulation, pre-line inspection soon, and we've got the some of the shower niche framed out, and also the bath over there, and also we've also got our in-wall cisterns, which is just over here. So that's going to be exciting. But just checking the bath, it's all right. See if it's strong enough. Seems okay at the moment. Taps. All right, so now we've got the separate toilet. So obviously now with the linings all on, it feels more like a space, but that's going to be much larger. But actually, this is what we wanted. We've also got the in-wall cistern installed just over here. So with the in-wall cistern, you can see as well, this is going to be a tiled plinth over here, but obviously to make it fit, we've had to do a little bit of rejigging around to actually make the plumbing fitting fit, so it'll become nice and flush with the windowsill. Obviously the tiles are going to run up here, and then it's going to return into the window over there. So box within the box. Woo! You can see. Yeah, cool. So actually quite definitely dropping that's going to make sense. One of those things between drawing and actually building it. It's a small basin you can see, and that's the mixer, which is a soul mixer, and brush nickel as well. Really compact. Or maybe like that. Little groove here. I quite like that. Yeah. Oh, nice bottle trap. Shower waste. So it'll be the tile insert waste. Let's see here. So you can see the tile insert. Tile's gonna be there. So the only thing you see in this drain is really just that negative perimeter chip plasterboard face, and then that just gets installed up in the ceiling. It's gonna come out of the wall like this. That. Alright, cool. So another great little fixture. This is the Vent Pro ceiling grill. So obviously you're not going to see much of the grill. You're just going to see a little recess in the perimeter for the air extract. So they just plaster up to the underside of this. Obviously not as great as using a standard toilet, but the old Portaloo. Yep, there you go. Well, you know the deal. Toilet paper, hand wash, foaming wash, and then we'll go foot flush. We'll flush that stuff away. Alright, as you can see, we've got the villa board linings up, so this is just really getting it in preparation for the tiling. So all the walls and the ceiling, that's all been lined. And now we've got your opening for the shower niche. That's really just putting your shampoo bottle, your soaps and things like that in there. The bath has also been framed up, as you can see, and everything's getting ready to do the waterproofing. So obviously it's all been closed up now, so really hoping that everything's all in the right location. Should be. And yeah, next step from here is just getting an inspection for the waterproofing as well. So really trying to get that all done before the weekend. Alright, so as you can see, they've plastered the joints. They've also sanded the joints for the jib plasterboard sheets, and also around the edges of some of the window trims as well. So obviously just getting that ready for painting as well. But actually in the first instance we're just going to get this ready for the waterproofing, which should occur next week. In the separate toilet, they've also, as you can see, they've plastered the ceiling again, and also the plinth for the cistern here as well has been done. You can see, I'll show you around. So you can see they're also going to have the jib trim into the window jambs. The flush plaster ceiling hatch has also been completed. Have a look at another little accessory here that's going to form. It's going to be the lighting strip channel, strip LED. That's going to be recessed into the tile. This is the electrical connection for the light. And I'm just going to, let's see there. That's just going to be recessed into the tile, and then I'll get another strip of tile just glued onto the cabinet here, just to cover that strip as well, just so you don't see it from the side of the cabinet. And then another little piece of accessory here is the towel rail. So I'm just going to have a vertical towel rail that's essentially just going to fit down on this portion here. As you can see, it's going to be a vertical towel rail like that, like this. And that's just going to fit. It's going to be concealed wiring kit. So you're just going to see it coming out vertically from the tiles. Alright, fantastic. We've got most of our painting done. So you can see the painting has been done, and then we have a look at the waterproofing has also been done. So we're just waiting for that to dry. So this big fan here is really just powering it all up and help it dry as fast as it can. And then we're looking to have our waterproofing inspection pretty soon. So we've waterproofed the floor, the shower, this wall here for the shower, and then obviously around the bath they've also waterproofed that. So they've actually waterproofed that and taped the joints, which is great. It's waterproof. Tape the joints up to about 100 mils. So as you can see, they've also waterproofed just behind the taps here and the basin as well. Those gaps, those penetrations, it's just ensuring that it's all watertight as well. And then obviously what's going to help as well is the epoxy grout that will be installed on the tiling. We can look at the shower, step-in shower, bit of an upstand, and then tile drain over there. Tile drain, a bit of a small step here. And then as we look at the separate toilet, we'll just notice that they've done the upstand just behind the skirting. These portions all here. We've waterproofing the floor, and then that just gets turned up, the skirting, and that skirting is going to hide waterproofing behind it. The waterproofing has been completed, so now I've just got to give the builder and the tiler some direction just in terms of how I want the tile set out to run. Obviously want tiles to line up centered in the room, and then line up with construction elements, particular elements within the room, whether it's the bottom of cabinet, windowsill, or the tile niche. These are all items that you'd want to align with, so the design looks intentional. So what you can see here is obviously I've just drawn a couple of lines on the photo just to say, this is where we want to line up. So we want to center the tile. There's a large tile, so we're going to center the tile on the room, and then that needs to line up with the bath. This grout line here is also lining up with in line with the bath. This grout line here is lining up with the windowsill, and then carries through to the tile niche, and then wraps around on the other end on the shower, with fittings and fixtures also centered on this grout line as well. So obviously really setting up these datums for the tiler to follow. And then in the other in the other direction. In the other room, we're going to center the tiles again on the room as well. That's obviously carries through on the floor as well. And then that grout line aligned with the windowsill carries through, aligns with the bottom of the cabinetry and carries through to the end of the room here. So really getting that all right around in 3 dimensions within the room. And then obviously the other elevation, so here again that grout line that's continuing on from the windowsill from the other wall behind us, and then that's carrying through with fittings and fixtures being lining up on that wall as well. And then instead of the tile line splitting up here and having sort of a thin sliver of tiles, we're just going to run a full tile to the end of the door jamb over here, as you can see, and then that should just line up nicely within the room. Well, we'll have a quick look at the tile set out. They've installed a trim to the tiles, so you've got a bit of a 20mm step up onto the threshold here. But yeah, pretty happy with the set out so far. And if we go into the other room, this room here, you can see similar again. We've got the trim to the door. Obviously that door is just going to slide here, so the slider is just going to slide in front of the tiles. Look at the tile setouts for the other side of the room. Again, with tracking this datum all the way through here, it returns back, and then you're lining up this niche with that line as well. So basically getting alignment throughout, and then also you can see that the center line of these fixtures as well. So you're really just tracking around the room and trying to get that alignment right throughout. Yeah, I'm pretty happy about that actually. And then also on this wall here, we're just going to go with a full tile. Instead of taking the line to the center, we're just going to go with a full tile, just make it look like it's aligned with an element here, like a construction element. So aligning it with the doorway, you can see over there. So yeah, just aligning that tile line with the doorway, and that just means the shower is a full tile. So visually it just looks like a one piece of tile rather than having the center line alignment over there. But yeah, pretty happy about that actually. I mean, obviously what takes a lot of time is the tiles here are mitered. So you can see here the miters in the corners. So obviously that's what takes so long. That there's just the center of the shower. The tiles are split in half, basically just aligned with the center of the drain. So in the first instance now I'm just going to make the selection for the grout. So we're going with an epoxy grout. So I'm just going to look at the sample here and see what grout will actually work with the tile. Yeah, it's the one. That one. That's just too dark. It's really going to express the joint. Pretty keen on just getting the joint to blend in, so I'm pretty happy with that. Yep. And then again, I'm sort of just looking now. Again, just looking at some grout colours. This is for the darker tiles. One is pretty good. That's good. I think that's just going to really blend in with the tile. Okay, well, we'll just have a quick look at the tiling. Pretty happy with what they've done. So obviously we've maintained our centre line. We've got alignments here with the bath, hidden shower drain. And now we'll just have a look at the opposite side of the wall. Here we've got centre line of the tile. These cabinets are going to close off. The mirror is going to be full length across here. So this centre line over here carries through and tracks back up onto this wall. And then we've got our alignment with the cabinets with this grout line all along across this window sill, and then that tracks around to this portion here and then back into the tiled recess as well. So you can see that's actually, that line is all the way carried through here, through over there, and then lines up with the mirror cabinet, and then over here again it just lines up here. We've got LED lighting just under the cabinet here, just along this portion here, and then we've also got a tile just glued on onto the edge of this cabinet, so you can't see the LED strip. And then when the doors are closed, that's you won't need to see any sort of white cabinetry strip on the side there. And then we'll make our way to the separate toilet here, just over here. You can see what they've done. We've got our plinth, in-wall cistern, very compact basin. So tiled floor, tiled skirting as well, just down here, as you can see. And then come in here, we've got the mitered plinth, so the tiles are mitered so you can't see any, no aluminium channels. And then yeah, again, just a jib plasterboard just running into the windowsill there. Alright, so you can see this is the I would say 99% complete bathroom. So we've got our in-wall cistern toilet over here, heated towel rails, got the cabinets, so there's got storage, and the cabinets over here. So all these doors offer a bit of storage. See, PowerPoint, and then mixers, light switch just over here, controls the fan. And then also lighting up the LEDs. You can see the LED has just been recessed for in between the tiles. Good, so we're just waiting for the shower glass to arrive. So once that's arrived as well, that's going to be fantastic. So that's all going to be, it's going to be a tightish small shower here, but obviously we've got a lot more space in this bathroom now than we had previously, because everything's all been integrated into the wall with these cabinets, obviously. Obviously, what you can see again, the tile runs up, returns back into the jambs, so you have a nice clean detail here. Tile grout line aligns with the center of the window, and then that just carries through onto the other side. Got our sliding door here, it just slides across. So yeah, just overall trying to maximize the space in here by having all these fixtures pushed up against this side of the wall, and then also just all integrated onto this wall here. And what you can see here is obviously what we've done is we've just allowed for the tiles to be glued onto this vanity cabinet here, so when this is closed you can't see the side of the cabinet on that side there. Majority of the fittings have been installed, as you can see. So they've got the mirrors, obviously that's making a big difference, adding volume and depth to the space. Obviously now the small room looks a lot bigger because we've got all these mirrors. As you can look here, we've got the shower glass installed, which is looking really good. And once you step in there, shower rain head, got the rain handle easy. And then we'll just have a quick look at the LEDs lights. So obviously once that's turned on, that's just lighting up the basin over there. Yeah, just gives it a little bit of mood lighting at night. So we can see we're in the separate toilet now, small compact basin, storage inside the vanity. It's got a hook for a towel rail, and then yeah, mirror, so very simple. Alright, so yeah, in conclusion, feel pretty good about the build. The overall quality was very high, considering that we used a couple of custom details. For example, running the jib into the window jambs, running the tiles into the window jambs as well, and then recessed lighting into the tiles just under the mirror cabinet. Had in-wall cisterns. We used large format tiles. So when it comes to program, it was a 6-month design and build really. 3 months design, 1 month for building consent, so 2 months build construction time, 8 weeks in total. Basically my in-laws are coming to visit, so we really needed to get the bathroom complete by that time. And then if we look at the overall budget, we went over the initial budget, but then we did another revised budget, and then we were actually just under that. So in the end, obviously things are always going to cost more than you think. There's unexpected items that came up. For example, we had rotten timber flooring that we needed to remove. We had a couple of variations as well. Variation 1 was for a shower channel. We had a different toilet specification. We also had a provisional sum in there for all the drainage. Initially the plumber had to extend the drainage pipe and he couldn't make it work in the same way as the other toilets, so he ended up having to reconfigure or reroute a new connection to the existing drainage, so that was an additional cost that we did not anticipate right from the start. Another variation was the tile skirting. We just went for a much slimmer tile. In the end, we also allowed for epoxy grouting. Look at challenges. We had to work through some challenges through the renovation. Also had to shower at the neighbour. We had a portaloo on site for 2 months. That was our only toilet facilities that we could use. In addition to that, you've got the construction waste and noise that you have to work through. So another item was the in-wall cistern. After it's all been completed, we discovered that it was leaking behind the wall, so then it was seeping up through under the tiles on the floor. So this is something that we needed to actually just get inspected. So we've actually had the plumber come around twice. First time we were still finding some leaks, so the plumber needed to reconnect the pipe and then reseal the connections, and also we ended up taking the grout out just to get rid of residual moisture from the initial leak, and then regrouting the tile. So these are all challenges that we needed to work through. All in all, very happy. Highly recommend the builder, and we're pretty happy to commence with other projects in the future. And yeah, would just like to thank you all for watching.